massive. These dogs weighed as much as me. There was 3 of them. They were going to eat us. We were going to die. For my first century ride, my friend Lizzie and I rode it in Palm Springs. We were like, let's make a little trip out of it. We prepped for the ride. My coach prepped us like the week before. He had me on a plan, so I went in pretty rested to the century ride. Gave us everything we needed to know as far as talk to us about fueling and just all of the information. He's done the ride. We were doing it unsupported. So all of this information was important. We decided to ride with our camelbacks to make sure we had enough water. We decided to take like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and other food on the ride since we were doing this by ourselves. He gave us like the 411 on like which segments of road were chewed up, et cetera, et cetera. We felt really confident about it. My friend, I didn't have a bike computer at the time. She did. The route was uploaded. We weren't going to get lost. We're going to have a great time. So we wake up the next day. We prep. We're leaving 7 a.m. early because we don't know how long this is going to take us. Like, I've never ridden 100 miles. This can take me 10 hours. I just want to finish the 100 miles. So we roll out, and it's beautiful. It's the desert in the morning. It's quiet. Things are starting to wake up. The sun is gorgeous. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm alive. I'm having the time of my life. This is amazing. We're taking pictures. We're taking video. And we roll onto this service road. We are 7 miles into the ride, not even at this point. And this service road, we're in the middle of nowhere. We had rode out of Palm Springs already, but this service road, there's nothing. There's no one and nothing, just this road that goes to wherever it goes. And as we're riding, there's this like outcropping. It looked like an overpass, but I thought that this could have been like an encampment. As I look over to my right, and my friend was in front of me, I start to hear woo, 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 woo. And these 3 giant brown feral pit bull dogs start running out from this underpass, charging us. I say to my friend, I'm like, Lizzie! She's like, just ride! She's faster than me. She takes off, and I'm pedaling. I felt like the Wicked Witch of the West as I'm like pedaling as fast as I can, and there are 3 dogs, and I look back, and they're so close, like literally all sorts of imagery that you can think about these giant dogs like nipping at my heels. So my girlfriend, she's like, I didn't see them. She's like, I heard them and I was gone. But I saw them. I saw their little eyes. I saw their face. I saw their necks. Like, I saw their brown bodies and their muscular chests charging at me. They were to my right, and I saw them. Like, I can draw you a picture literally of what happened, and you can tell like the alpha was like massive. So Lizzie kept yelling at me to ride. And granted, you think that this period of time is like hours. It's just a really quick little blip of time because we can ride faster than the dogs. We outride the dogs, and the 2 of us are shaking. Like shaking. You talk about an adrenaline dump. We're 7 miles into 100 miles, and I was like, we're not going to do this. I can't finish this. This is 7 miles. What else is going to happen today? Like, what are we going to encounter on this ride? I was like, I don't know if we're going to finish. So she wanted to stop so we can gather ourselves, and we're shaking. But I was so scared. I was like, I just want to keep riding. Like, I want to just ride as far away as possible because these are big, gigantic dogs. I was like, I don't know. They can hunt me down and rip me to shreds. In hindsight, we had seen dead animals in the road, and I'm like, oh, well, that's okay. That's from the dogs. Now I know. So like there was like, anyway. We eventually stopped, gathered our things, took off some clothes. We were sweating, but it was such an adrenaline dump that I was so depleted after, and I truly didn't think I was going to be able to go on. However, we decided to continue rolling. So we keep rolling. We encounter another group of cyclists, and I don't know how far away we were from the dogs, but we're like, hey guys, there's a pack of feral pit bulls back there. You want to just be aware and maybe avoid that road. And the cyclists were like, oh, we're fine. We carry bear spray. So my friend Lizzie and I go, bear spray? that sounds like a great idea. Or, you know, pepper spray, whatever, some sort of spray. And I was like, that's interesting. I was like, you know, Coach Bill didn't tell us about needing bear spray or anything like that. She's like, well, if we pass like a 7-Eleven, we should probably pick some up or whatever. Needless to say, 1, we didn't pass any 7-Elevens on our entire journey. 2, never picked up any bear spray. 3, we're in the desert in the middle of nowhere. Everyone has ferocious dogs. Everyone has giant plots of land with multiple dogs that can eat your face. So for this like 40-mile stretch of road, there's these dogs running to gates, barking, and the two of us were like seizing up every time they heard these dogs barking because it was like so traumatic from early on in the ride. Fast forward, after that first 7-mile like little hiccup, it was a completely like uneventful ride. Nothing happened. We had enough water. We had enough food. We had challenges finding a bathroom, but it is what it is. So we finished the ride and we call my coach. First thing we do is we get back and we call him to tell him how we did and how it went. We're so excited. And my girlfriend and I had reflected and said, you know, he prepped us for everything. Everything for the ride. Never mentioned bear spray. Never mentioned that. So we call him and we kind of give him this recap of the ride, and we're talking to him, and the very first thing I said to him was like, you know, blah, 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 the ride, this and that. Is there something you didn't tell us? And he's like, oh yeah, like there's wild dogs in the desert. And I'm like, and here we go. Bear spray. So now I have bear spray.